Hi everyone. So, to quote Auguries of Innocence by William Blake, to see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower, to hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. So I'd like to practice a meditation which helps us to see the infinite in the finite. Humans are very good at measuring and planning, controlling. The mind is very good at that. And all of those things do tend to create the sense of separation with the incredible vastness of life and all existence. So we can kind of narrow things down, and after a while that can feel quite restraining and quite it can feel like it brings you down. So it's really nice to use meditation, especially meditation in nature, as a way of kind of freeing yourself up a little bit and releasing and relaxing into how life truly may be. So I'd like to use a singing bowl in this meditation as well, and this is to enable us to bring a greater sense of connection to the fact that life vibrates. So we live in a resonating, vibratory universe, and that can really help in this practice. And if you have your own singing bowl, I'd really recommend that you play your singing bowl, because this can enable you to feel the sound as well. I'm also going to be using just some simple analogies. So I have an oak leaf here, and I'm sat beneath an oak tree, and I would like to just bring to mind a few images really that might help us to kind of break down some of those conditioned thoughts that tend to separate us from that vastness of life. So if you can, take a seat in nature, maybe even have your own singing bowl with you, and just rest a few moments, resting in the breath, resting in the breathing in, the breathing out. Connecting to the space around you through the breath. Breathing into the center of the chest, connecting to that resonant center. Breathing in, the breathing out. And listening to the sound of the bowl, or playing too. Becoming aware of the resonance, the vibration. So all life is vibration and movement. It's the commonality that connects all things. So let's just take a moment to the image of a tree. By image, I mean the image and the concept of a tree in our minds. So maybe closing the eyes might help. Visualizing a tree in its wholeness, its entirety. But then, of course, with deeper contemplation, become aware of the fact that the tree is made up of different parts. So the trunk, the branches, and the leaves, all parts of what we think of as a tree. But then if we contemplate further, we start to realize the tree is a home for many creatures, be they tiny or larger, from bugs to squirrels to great birds. So bringing them into the picture. But then of course we realize that the tree connects to its own breath, it connects to the carbon dioxide around it. So there's a connection between us and the tree, of course, through our breathing. But then there is a connection also into the ground, so through the roots, drawing up nutrients. So our idea of what makes a tree can start very small and gradually expand as we become aware of its interconnection and how it's quite difficult, in fact it's impossible, to truly separate that tree from life itself. And let's go deeper. So back to the oak leaf. So when we look deeply into the oak leaf, we see that it's made of multiple forms and shapes. If we were to hold it up to the light, we would see its wonderful structure and how it's perfectly designed to absorb light and to give out light energy. In the same way our food absorbs light and provides us with the energy of the sun. But when we look deeply, truly deeply into this leaf, we can connect with all life. We can connect with the greater expanse of the tree. We can connect with the space around the tree, the air. We can connect to the sky. We can connect to the clouds that provided the water to water the tree so it could live. We can connect to the earth through which the water flows. We can connect to the sun as it heats the earth, and the water becomes vapor, moves up into our atmosphere, into the cycle of life. So when we look deeply, we can see the world. We can see the world in this leaf. Or as William Blake once said, in a grain of sand. You see all life. You see a world. So maybe there are times when we could all stop more often. We could look more deeply into the things of life, and especially nature, and reconnect. Start to see the infinite in all things, including, of course, yourself. So take care and be at peace, and I'll meditate with you soon.